Hey everybody, this is Smoking Bears. Welcome to the Bear Cave. Today we're going to do 2 barbecue sauces. We got a future cook coming up of Brunswick stew, and they call for 2 different styles of barbecue sauces. Now I could go to the store and I could buy my barbecue sauces, but let me tell you what, you can make one at home so much better. And you control what goes in where. So we're going to do a classic barbecue sauce, which comes out of this cookbook. The only twist I made to that was my sweetener of choice. Instead of using oleosa, which that calls for, I use a monkfruit. Then we're going to take a classic Piedmont sauce, vinegar, light tomato sauce, that I really enjoy. And we're going to keto-fy it. How do you do that? Use a no sugar ketchup and use monk fruit instead of sugar. Pretty simple. We'll show you how to do all that. And this is what they look like. This is my vinegar base Piedmont style sauce. Let me tell you what, it's pretty killer. Love it on pulled pork. Absolutely love it on pulled pork. This is your classic, and I tell you what, it's the first time I made this keto style, and I like it. The Cubs liked it, so it's a keeper. It's kind of like a vinegary Sweet Baby Ray's almost, if you would. But so let's get into this. Let me show you what we got going on right down here. Okay, so what we have is, this recipe calls for a cup of water. And, well, I'm doubling the recipe. So it calls for a cup of water and a cup of sweetener. So let's do that. And it calls for the sweetener. They use an allulose. I find I like monk fruit, so you use whatever kind you want, you know. So let's get this going. Then I'm going to add my 1 cup of monk fruit. Now I'm going to give that a little whisk, and I want this to dissolve. You can see it's not going to take long. Then I've already pre-measured, to save time, my liquids, which is a 1/2 cup of tomato paste, which is really like a 6-ounce jar or can, a 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of yellow mustard, 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke, and 2 teaspoons of molasses. So once all this gets dissolved, then we will add that in. So what I'm going to do now, though, is, because this is all mixed up, I want to get that molasses moving while it's thin. While I have the apple cider vinegar and stuff in there to kind of thin it out a little bit. And this is going to make the classic, your everyday kind of barbecue sauce. There we go. We're nice and thinning up. This is looking pretty good already. Quick sauce. Quick sauce. All right. Now, let's go ahead and, that looks dissolved enough. Let's go ahead and dump this, our wet, in there. And see, I got a little bit left in there. I'm going to pull some of this up. Swoosh it around. Trying to get all that molasses in there. Close enough. All right. And then now I'm going to add in my dry ingredients, which I already have pre-measured, which is a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a quarter teaspoon of cayenne. All going into the pool. Cool. And as you see, my partner's over here mixing that up. And then, I can't forget your tomato paste. Now, why did I do it that way? That way everything got incorporated before I dump in this tomato paste and makes it thick. Get all that goodness out of there. All right. I'll use this spatula now to just kind of get it off the, get that tomato paste off there. Smash it up. Boy, that's smelling good, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Mmm. See what we're looking at? Now, we want to mix this up to where all that tomato paste gets broken up and well incorporated. And then it wants to bring to a boil for 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. 3 of which we've been at this style of boil, where it's kind of really going, and I've been whisking the whole time because I don't want it to burn. So let's give it a taste, and then we'll see if we need to add anything. So let me turn my heat down. Got my taste tester here.
Thank you.
Mmm.
Holy crap.
Like it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, she says it's good, so we're going to roll with it. What's the flavor like? Because I know I don't know how to explain that one. It's got like a vinegar taste to it. I'd almost say like a light tomato sauce to it, not like a Kansas City style.
It tastes like Baby Ray's, just with more like barbecue.
A little more vinegar. Like a vinegary Sweet Baby Ray's. Mm-hmm. Okay. I can handle that.
That's what I think it is.
Yep. So we're going to cut our heat off, which I did. And then I'm going to jar it up. Jar it up. Jar it up. Okay, so now we're going to jar it up. And what I've got is a old mason jar. This used to be an old sauce jar. Set that down. Put your canning funnel in there. I'm going to pull out this whisk. Find a place to set it here. Now this is hot, so I don't want to splash everywhere. You can see the black pepper in this. Ooh. Now I'm jarring it up like this because I've got a Brunswick stew coming up. So I'm going to jar this up, and when I get ready to use it,
leave some at the house for me.
Yep. So that's what I need for my Brunswick stew recipe. All right. So let's get the next jar ready. I left an inch of headspace, which is the space between here and here. I'm going to put on a canning lid jar, torque that down, and then as it cools, it'll create a vacuum. And then that'll sink in and it'll be fresh. Okay, so this is going to be our Piedmont style barbecue sauce. And it is a vinegar, ketchup, and some spices. It is considered like a light tomato base. So what we have is we're getting our pot heated up. I have 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar and 1/2 cup of water. Go ahead. Okay. Now I have a 1/2 cup of ketchup. Use your sugar-free ketchup. Need a 1/2 cup. That goes in the pot. All that yummy goodness in there. Okay, get that kind of mixing up. All right. Now our spices. Pretty simple. A tablespoon of monkfruit, a teaspoon of salt, and an 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper flake. Pretty simple. All in the pot. Let's stir this up, and we will bring it to a simmer, and we will let this simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, so you can see it's at a good simmer. I came back and just kept moving it around, and we don't want anything to scorch, so every couple minutes just came and gave her a good stir. So looking real thin and real good. It smells wonderful. Oh my goodness. So we kill the heat and we just wait until this cools completely to room temperature, and then we can jar it up. Okay, so now that our sauce is cooled all the way down, room temperature, now we're going to jar it up. Now, I like to keep my my sauce jars, rinse them, wash them out really good, and then that's what I'm going to put this in. So let's do that. Put a funnel. This is a clean 2-quart funnel. Just enough. Now this, put that lid on it. I'll put it in the refrigerator. All right, so we have our Piedmont sauce, vinegar based. We have our classic Keto BBQ sauce. So we will put these two aside, and that's the sauces we will use for our Brunswick stew. So tune in for that. And man, that's all I got this week. Remember, there's 2 rules in cooking. Did it taste good? Did you have fun? Rock on. Y'all are awesome. Have a great week, everybody.